Hello, how are you? This is Andrea with the ADS Agency, here as always to bring you the very best in marketing and branding tips, as well as business tips for those of you who are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and personal branders. And personal branders just means everybody, because everybody has a personal brand. Truth be told, and some people kick it up a notch, right? That's a whole nother story. But today we are chatting about how to do these Zoom parties. If you want to, we're quarantined right now, even whenever this is all over with coronavirus and COVID-19, it's so good to know how to do these virtual parties. You may want to do a virtual conference at some time or some little virtual meeting, mini summit, whatever. I use platforms like Zoom all the time for my meetings with committee members, sometimes just one-on-ones with clients, lunch dates with friends, and all this. So everybody now needs a good platform to do things like this. So for those of you who are new to the platform, you've never been on Zoom before, you don't know how to do it, and you want to either host a party, you just want to join in on the fun for someone else's party or gathering or lunch thing or whatever, I'm going to walk you through how to do Zoom for the first time, all the do's and don'ts and all that good stuff to help you have the most successful meeting, gathering, whatever you can do virtually ever. Okay? All right, so let's go. So one of the first things you want to know is about lighting. And this is very critical because the worst thing ever is to have a light source behind someone and it's so dark because the camera, your webcam, your phone, whatever you're using is focusing on the light and it's making you or that person very, very dark. So always remember to face a light source and have your camera also in that same direction so that your camera's looking at you and the light is looking at you, okay? And so you don't have to have all this fancy equipment to do this. You can really use a lamp, you know, just take a lamp, take the shade off and put it by you so there's light on your face. You can take a little desk lamp and turn it towards you, but just make sure there's some light towards your face. Make sure the image that you're projecting looks good and that the person on the other side can appreciate it, right? So if you want to get even fancier equipment at this time, I think Amazon will still deliver to you. So I can link in the description below to a beauty ring light that I use and it's so fabulous. I mean, really, I love it. I've recommended it to so many people. It's about 200-ish bucks, you know. So it is a little pricey investment. However, if you are into video or if you're going to be doing this a long time, it is well worth the investment. It's way better than the tiny little ring lights you can get on a phone and that kind of thing. Although there may be some that are pretty good, but I have not looked at that. I just went for the big one because I do these videos. So that's key number one. Lighting is critical. Lighting is critical. Key number two is your Wi-Fi. So invest in good Wi-Fi. Your meetings are only as good as the Wi-Fi, so you need very good Wi-Fi. If you have some kind of lower level package, consider investing in the highest package you can get, because the better the Wi-Fi is, the better your communication is, the better your audio is. Sometimes what happens on these meetings is people get stuck. It'll sound glitchy, you know, because the Wi-Fi is trying to catch up. And that happens on mine. I've got the best I can get, you know, so, you know, it's just a point that try to be in the best Wi-Fi location that you can. Be mindful of that, okay? Point number three is audio. So this is very critical for both the host of a meeting and or if you're just participating in the meeting or event, whatever it is online. The audio is very critical. So a lot of times if you're joining online with your laptop, it'll give you the option to join with your computer. You can do that. It'll give you an option to test your audio, which is a good idea. You can also do something different where you can join the audio with your phone. So if you're noticing that you're having a problem, you know, and people are saying, I can't hear you, you sound crackly, then consider, you know, you can leave your webcam up on your laptop if you want to, and then Zoom also has a phone number that you can call in, so you can call in with your phone and people can hear your audio very clearly, which is very, very important. So that's just a little tidbit if you get stuck on your audio. The other point about audio is this is basic conference etiquette, but not everyone is used to having conferences online, so not everyone knows this. But the other thing is muting your sound. So if you're not speaking and there's a lot of people in this thing, I just had a Partay for myself. It was like, I still have to get the numbers on this, but we had over 50 registrants, and it really felt like over 50 people at one point. It was a lot. It was the most I've ever had on a Zoom live ever before. So that's a lot to manage. And so it's very helpful to the host of the meeting if you mute yourself, because this number one thing is background noise. You know, so if you are joining a party, try to make sure all your background noise is killed. Don't turn on the TV, turn the TV audio off. You can have it running in the background if you want to catch the headlines, the latest with coronavirus and whatever, but turn the audio off. Don't have your radio on. If kids are running around crazy, you know, just basically mute yourself or push them away to another area of your home. You know, try to make it as quiet as possible on your end so that when you do want to say something, it's very clear and it's not too noisy that it's killing everyone else who's having to listen to you, okay? So be very mindful of your audio. And if you're the host, also be mindful of those same things. You don't want a bunch of unnecessary background noise going on that's going to bother your participants and the people who came to see you. So be mindful of the audio that's on. There can be purposeful audio. So the cool thing about Zoom that you can't do necessarily on Facebook, definitely not publicly on a Facebook page or personally or otherwise, because you know they have those music bands on Facebook. So if you're playing Earth, Wind & Fire or some fun thing in the background, Bruno Mars or whomever, the latest of who, if you're having like a party, you know, then the cool thing about Zoom is this is a private thing, so you don't have to worry about those restrictions. So you can actually have background music going on, which is kind of nice, and it sets the ambiance for the whole thing, which is kind of cool. So consider that. There's that. Okay, the other part of this is to consider how to invite people to this party of yours or event. So it depends on if you want very specific people to come, or if it's an open thing where you're inviting your audience for a business or whatever to come to a webinar or a conference or something that you're doing online. So you're going to want to think about your communications with this. And I'm walking this out specifically for individuals who may not have used Zoom before. So if you're an individual who's trying to host like a virtual birthday happy hour, which is something that I just did for my own birthday, which I'll show you some imagery of that here. You're going to want to promote it to your friends and to your contacts. So, you know, if you're opening it up to the world of your contacts, that's great. Or if you only want very specific people, you know, you want to keep it small, intimate, that's good too. I was reading up on New York Times, had a great article about virtual parties, and it said it actually recommended that you keep your parties as intimate as possible, which I can definitely understand the point of that after having my big old shindig online, which was like probably over 50 something people. I'm gonna go find that number for you guys and put it here. But, you know, it was a lot of people all at once, and so it's fun to see everyone, and they kind of jumped in and out, and they were there, and more people came, and when people needed to leave, they could, and all that good stuff. But that is a lot. A big crowd is a lot to manage, especially when you need to mute certain people. If background noise is loud, it can be difficult as the host to locate that person. I'm not sure yet where the mute all button is on Zoom, but a lot of meeting applications do have like a mute all button where you can mute everyone at once, and then as people need to speak, they can unmute themselves. But I have not seen that on Zoom yet. I need to go track that down and find it. But until then, you know, you kind of have to tell people if you've got noise going on, please mute yourselves, you know, so that the party can be enjoyable. Because otherwise, if you're just listening to someone have a conversation on the phone while you're trying to talk to everyone else, you all are having to listen to this very loud conversation, it's gonna be annoying and it's gonna kill your little party. So you have to kind of like lay out those ground rules ahead of time, you know, and all that good stuff. Another point is talking points, entertainment, things you want to do. So I kind of threw mine together at the last minute. I know, it was just for me, so I was like, it's just me, you know, I'm just gonna see who shows up, I'm just gonna try it, it's gonna be an experiment. But I'm giving you all the good points afterwards. If I do something like this again, this is what I would do. So I did have like a couple of questions laid out ahead of time, like little fun questions you can throw out there to your crowd. At the end of this, some of my girlfriends had a really great suggestion of doing like little card games where you actually have even more fun questions that you can ask everyone, and you can even ask specific people and that kind of thing. I didn't think people would want to be called out specifically, you know, like, Jamie, tell us what your mantra is for life right now that we're all locked in, you know? Like, I didn't think a lot of people could be able to think on the spot like that. So I didn't want to pinpoint people, but you may be comfortable doing that, especially in a smaller group. You know, in a smaller, more intimate group, it's not a ton of people. There's not a lot of pressure, you know, to answer questions and that kind of thing. So it is good to think of, you know, questions, topics, conversations you can have. I highly recommend keeping it light, because right now when we have this virus going on, and hopefully by the time you're watching this, hopefully that'll all be over and we're in a new normal. Please God, let it be a nice normal. You know, but we're in some kind of new normal. But until then, you know, we're all in the same boat, and it can be very easy to go down a very negative rabbit hole. You want to keep these parties upbeat and light, you know, so try to not so much talk about things that are depressing, downtrodden, and argumentative and potentially combative conversation causing topics. So, you know, try to keep it light, unless the purpose of your meeting is to discuss all those things. But if you're having a party, the purpose is to party, you know, have some fun, see each other, try to create a sense of normalcy, even though it's virtual, right? So that's what we're trying to do here. So think of your conversation, keep it light.
Working with Tamika. She's on bartender mode. Let me unmute you.
Hi guys. Hi everybody. Happy birthday. Can you do a cheers for everybody right now?
Yeah.
Is everybody drinking?
You're doing dry ice cocktails.
So dry ice cocktails. Let me make one for you really quickly so that you guys can see what's going on over here.
Adrian, pay attention. This is for poolside.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. So it's 2 parts. So you have dry ice. You just need a little bit with 2 parts. Well, 2 ounces of vodka and fresh strawberries and your juice of choice. I've been doing pineapple and fresh strawberries with a little bit of pink lemonade.
Fresh strawberries.
Yes. So it's really cool when you want to entertain and you kind of want to show off a little bit. That people think that you like almost when you're able to basically pour juice or vodka over dry ice. It bubbles up, and it's an excellent conversation piece, and it's cute for themed events and things of that sort. You can put anything in it. Yeah.
It's cute. Oh, I totally want to.
Stream. Cool. Other than that, everything's good.
That's Chucky from Charleston.
Yeah.
Okay.
So took to mute. Chucky.
So Chucky and I and my sister, who is, I don't know if our sister.
Happy birthday. What's up?
Thank you. So we
Chucky, let's have something on the piano for her birthday. Don't do no basic stuff.
No basic. You know what?
Yeah, that would be great. Wow us. We all have drinks, so wow us. He's phenomenal. Chucky is the one who played behind President Obama at the funeral for the church bombing in Charleston. He was the organist.
Oh wow. Yeah, he's extra awesome. So are you
a real party? Birthday jam.
Alexa, power off. Okay, all right, we're ready.
She was saying it to him.
Oh, thanks, James. Amy, I just saw you. Yay!
Another great thing is to acknowledge people as they come in. So as people come in, you greet them, say, hi, it's so great to see you, you know, and however you want to greet them, but just acknowledge people, you know, they took the time to get off the couch, potentially get dressed, clean up a little area. Ideally, you have cleaned up an area that is presentable for your host, or if you're the host, definitely have a presentable area to do your footage in and host your event in, you know, so that's another point. Make sure that your area is clean. We'll cover that next. But yeah, so that's some of the stuff you want to do. Your area itself, do take time to consider the area. Do not just flip open your laptop and then have dirty socks and laundry and food on the counter from, you know, earlier today for lunch and all this. You know, you definitely want to have a clean, nice vibe area that makes sense for you. So consider the area that you shoot in. All right, and now we're gonna get to how to actually go in Zoom and create this event. So what you want to do is go to Zoom. If you've not registered before, it's easy to register. There is a free version and that can work. The issue with the free version is, I believe, it only goes up to like 40 minutes worth of a meeting, which is really hard to do for a party. You know, I called mine the virtual Bday happy hour. You know, technically, maybe it could be considered as an hour, but we definitely went to 2 hours. You know, we kind of dwindled down to a core few ladies and we kind of wrapped up the party ourselves after that. But, you know, 40 minutes is really tight. It's kind of hard to do just 40. So I recommend, if you're going to be doing this and it's important to you, do the paid version. It's only like 15 bucks or something nominal like that. I know we're being careful about money, but if this is important to you, I mean, that's the cost of a cake or a nice bottle of wine. So do it and get the version so you don't have to be worried and time stressed, because people will get on late. They'll get on late and they'll want to talk longer and all that good stuff. So make sure that you have the paid version. You want to go into Zoom, log in. It'll walk you through, you know, getting the paid version if you want. If you go with the free version, that's fine too. It can work. Just be mindful again of the time constraints. And so where you want to go to is to schedule a meeting. And from here, I will show you the rest all on your laptop.
So again, to get here, you're going to go to zoom.us or just search Zoom. You'll come to this page. This is again where you can see plans and pricing, where you can sign in, or if you're new, you can sign up here. But I'm just going to sign in since I'm already a little member of this. You can see where all my meetings pop up here. I'm going to show you how to schedule a meeting, and then I'm going to show you what my virtual Partay setup was like. So you just go up here to schedule a meeting. Call it whatever you like. My virtual Partay. This is to have fun while we're locked in. You know, call it whatever. And you set your date and time here. The duration here, it can be just a matter of minutes or several hours. If it is a recurring meeting, if you're having, you know, say you're having a happy hour every day, like some people I've seen out there are doing a daily thing, then you're going to want to click recurring so you can change all your options there. I like to do this required registration for parties because if you do that, it's going to give you some branding options that you're going to want later, which is really nice. And also it gives you an opportunity to capture emails, which is really good, especially when you want to communicate with people later after the fact, thank them for coming to your party, or if you have special instructions beforehand about how to dress or what to do, whatever, if they need to prepare to do anything, you want to collect those emails. So you can do that by requiring a registration. Otherwise, if you don't require registration, it's just going to give you a link and you give that to people and they can just, anyone with the link can come in, which is very easy, but it also, you don't get emails. So emails are golden. So let's do that. I just let this generate your meeting ID automatically, so I just leave that as is. I take this off, meeting password, that's annoying, people don't want to do that. I turn these on for video, for the host and the participant. I turn those both on, so that way when people log into your Partay, they already have their video set up, so you don't have to sit there and explain to them like how to turn their video on. Now they can turn their video off if they're just like really in their PJs and they don't want you to see them. You know, they have that option, but it's easier just to have it on. I leave audio on both. Just leave that on both. And there's several other meeting options here. You can enable join before host. That means you can join the meeting before the host, which is you, arrives. You can mute the participants upon entry, which is not a bad idea. And that way you can explain to them how to unmute when they want to say something, but you're also not dealing with the problem of everybody's background noise, especially with a large crowd. It can be so hard to deal with people's background noise. You can enable a waiting room, which is, again, if you're late or whatever, or if people are super early, they can wait there until you join. And you only authenticated users can join. That just means they have to sign into Zoom in order to do that. I never do that. You can record the meeting automatically, which I recommend doing in the cloud. And that way you can go back and see the whole party. And it's kind of fun because, you know, you'll see facial expressions you didn't see the first time. And it's so funny to view that. It's even funnier when you view it speed times 2, you know. So you can do it on speed 1.5 or speed times 2. And so it's just really fast and it's kind of hilarious. So definitely record the meeting. And alternative hosts, don't really worry about that. That's just, people have to have your same domain name as your email in order to do this. And it's just complicated and a mess. So don't bother with alternative hosts. And you're going to save this, okay? So once you save it, you just go back to your meetings when you log into Zoom and you're ready to start your party. You just click here, start this meeting. And this is what happens when you want to start your meeting. You click that. And you're just going to say open Zoom meetings because I have the application on my computer. And join with computer audio. If you have a problem with your computer audio, you can do a phone call instead and dial in, and then that will fix your audio problems there. But I usually just join with computer audio. And you can click here to go to full screen, and let me show you, hello. Let me show you everything that's here. So you've got your mute button. You can mute yourself. you know, in case you need to not to be heard, whatever you're doing. You can stop your video. So if for any reason you want to stop your video, you can do that. Obviously, I uploaded my own little branding there. You can invite people. So if you forgot someone or someone's like, oh, Cassie didn't get an invite, you can click this and it will do that by email, or you can just copy a URL and it'll say copy to clipboard and you just go paste it wherever you need to. If you click on manage participants, this is where you can mute all or unmute all. Yay. So we all learned something new today with that. And if you go to share, this is where you can share your screen. So you can click anything. I'm going to show you what this is like. If I shared my screen with you, I could share like this Adobe Premiere Pro where I'm editing this video right now. And I can do all kinds of stuff and everyone can see what's on my screen. This is a good option if you have a PowerPoint you want to share, you know, with, especially if it's like, you know, you have family pictures or something, depending on what kind of party it is, you can share stuff like that there. And so you can also share, like in our party where we had a bartender, if I had this all done ahead of time, we could have shared her contact info and how to give her tips and that kind of thing on a screen. And that can show up here and everyone can see it. So I'm just going to click stop share. Stop share is how you get out of that. And then there's a chat area. So if you want to chat with people, you can say, hey, what's up? Welcome to the Partay. You can chat to everyone, or when there are other people on, which there's no one on right now, but if there were other people here, you could click this little down click button and that will help you find a specific person. You can send them a private message while you're on. So if you're like, Sarah, your screen is super crazy, or your audio is so loud so I muted you, you know, whatever, you know, you can send private messages like that. Just be very careful if whether you're a participant or a host to be sure that you're sending a message to everyone or just to a specific person. Because as you can imagine, a lot can go wrong there. So that's the chat area. And then this is where you can pause or stop recording if you are recording. And you can end your meeting just like that. Boom. And you can end the meeting for everybody. And that is what you do, my dears. So I'm going to show you also how you get to that branded page. So I don't know why it kicked me out like that. Okay. So you go to, I'm going to show you my previous meetings and my actual Bday happy hour. And this was the URL, the registration URL that people got to register for the party. I actually did it, see this big long link, zoom.us blah blah blah. I shortened it through bit.ly. If you go to bit.ly, which I'll just show you that real quick. Bit.ly, you can type in any kind of, you just paste your URL right here and click create, and you can get a short little URL. So I did this bit.ly virtual Bday. And that way it was easy to use in promotions. But yeah, I just did that. And this is what your registration page looks like. So it's not, you can't like change the background and all this coolness, but you can put this banner image here and you can put an image for what they call a logo space here. So if you wanted to put a company logo there, you could. But since it's a party and it's personal, I just put a cute little personal square image that I made look like a circle. So this is what they see, and they just register here. And once they do that, it's so easy because then Zoom automatically sends them the email information. You just tell your people. All you have to do is click the link in your email and it will take you straight to the meeting when it's time. So when it's time, go to your email, click, and boom, you're in. And that's what you do. And let me just show you one other thing. When you come down here, so this is back on the meetings page, and you're setting up your meeting. Down here at the bottom is where you can see your options. So when you click registration, the registration option, you'll have this here. This is where you can see very quickly this number, and it updates all the time as people RSVP for your parties. You can see the number of registrants you have here. You can view them and see all their emails and when they registered and their names. So that's great there. And this is also where you can add in the branding I was showing you. So this banner area is here. It tells you the sizes to use, 1280 by 400 for that banner. And then there's also the square area, which it wants 400 by 400. Do that size for that area. And that's how you get your branding. All right, my dears, and that's it. That's what you do, and that's how you get in and play and have fun with your virtual parties.
And I also just want to quickly show you how all of this looks on your phone. So if you're going to do Zoom on your phone, which is very possible, you can run a Partay off your phone. You know, if you got laptop problems or you don't like your camera on your laptop. I kind of didn't like my camera on my laptop. You can run this off of your phone too. So I'm just showing you what this looks like. Where do you go? How do you host a meeting and all that good stuff? And that's how you can host it from your laptop. So those are all my quick tips today about how to set up and run a Zoom Partay. Thank your participants afterwards. I'll show you, what I posted afterwards from my Partay. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please do ask them in the comments below. I would love to hear them. And otherwise, I hope you enjoy your virtual parties out there. I want to hear your tips, so this is the first time I've done a little virtual party. I kind of want to do another one just to get even better at these. So we may have an excuse to do it. My sister has a birthday next month, so I'm pretty certain all this will be going on during her birthday. Oh no, oh, I just realized, okay, so this is my 15th year of being in Alpha Kappa Alpha, to my sorors out there. It's our 15th anniversary and we can't get together. So that's gonna be another reason to have a virtual party. We're gonna have to do a virtual, people. It's what we're gonna have to do. Oh, we can't do our pictures and stuff. This is what's spurring creativity. So this is gonna cause some creativity. I'm already thinking, I will spare you all my brainstorming out loud here. But thank you so much for joining us today. Again, I'm Andrea with ADS, always here to bring you the very best in marketing branding tips. Please do follow us. I am at the ADS Agency, THEADS, like ads, like advertising agency. The ADS Agency on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and now I am experimenting on TikTok. Do not shame me on TikTok. I am learning TikTok because I'll do another video about this later, but don't rule out TikTok, people. I poo-poo TikTok, and now I have learned far better. I'm far wiser. Two things I learned that convinced me to get on TikTok because I wasn't gonna do it, and now I am. One, 49% of the users are ages 35 and over in my camp. So that's nearly half the users are age 35 and over. And the parent company, ByteDance, is valued at over 75 billion. US dollars. That was back in the fall. They were valued at 75 billion. So TikTok is not going anywhere anytime soon. They got the capital, they got the staying power, and it's a very addictive platform. So their users are loyal and they spend a good amount of time on it. And there are businesses giving out the good tips on there. I have seen some marvelous examples. So do not think that TikTok is just for the babies and Gen Z, Gen A, Alpha, millennials and under. This is a good platform. I mean, really, people are having fun with it in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. 30s, 40s, and 50s are very well represented on TikTok. So, all right, now I am done. You can find me there at Miss ADS08 because I'm experimenting with my personal channel. So, disclaimer, that has nothing to do with my business, but you are welcome to check it out. MISS ADS08, Miss ADS08. All right, people, have a good one. Stay safe out there. Stay safe out there. Let's get through this together, okay?